Hello, YouTubers, and welcome back to the Ohio Patriot Education Network YouTube channel. I'm as always your host here, the Ohio Patriot, and for today's episode, we're going to talk about my second day living in what can only be described as a death trap apartment, and why I need to seriously find a new place to live immediately. This place is legitimately a nightmare. It is by far the worst place I have ever lived in my entire life. And what sucks is I basically gave up what could have been a really good apartment to come to this place under the impression that 60 days from now, I was basically going to be having a different place entirely to live at, only to basically be told secondhand that might not even happen now. So, yeah, it sucks. For those who saw the cast yesterday, I'm still wearing the same shirt I was then. There's no reason to change it because I haven't been able to take a shower today at all. Basically, because everything happened this morning. So I got up here about 1:30 yesterday from Columbus. I stayed with my sister for a few months there. Obviously, we were both under the impression I was going to be staying with her for 2 months, which then became 4 months. And then became get the fuck out by April, or I'm going to kick you out. And so, been looking for places here and there for the last few months. I found a place, really nice place, a couple towns over from the town I grew up in. And I was going to have that be, sorry, I'm eating today, so I'm not going to say which one I'm doing this. But yeah, I had found a place a couple towns over from the town I grew up in. Really nice, 1 bedroom. I think it was like $725 a month, I want to say is what it was. And then dude wanted me to move in April 1st, and I was like, oh, is there a way we could, do it a couple days early this weekend, basically? And this was all, I believe that all happened on, I want to say Thursday, maybe? Or like Wednesday, Thursday, this past week, here's what it was. And then sometimes I think I just need to stop ignoring calls from my cousin entirely, is what it is, because I had not had my phone off, I believe is what it was that day. And then came to, flip it on and stuff like that, because I had it on like silent or whatever it was there. And then came to find out my cousin had called me, and he's like, hey, I need you to call me, like, got some news for you. And I was like, oh, okay. And then so I call him up, and, he's like, oh, hey, the guy who was going to rent you that house, he has a place he apparently forgot he owned here where I'm at right now. And he's like, oh, he's willing to rent it to you for, X amount of dollars here. And I was like, oh, okay. So is it like, and I think I even asked us, I'm pretty sure I said, is it turnkey ready? And he's like, yeah, I don't know, I have to go look at it. And I was like, well, why don't you go look at it and let me know? And so he came to look at it Friday and was like, yeah, it's pretty close. Like, it's got a couple things wrong with it, but nothing, real, like, major that you could not overlook or whatever the case be. Which apparently, I don't know what he was talking about because, number one, I don't know why it wasn't the landlord that I'm paying money to right now that came here to look at the stuff. And then number two, why he didn't fix that stuff. And apparently, from my understanding is, because the place I'm at right now is over a shop. And then there is, in the back part here, a basement apartment that I guess, according to my cousin as of this morning, is even worse than this place that I'm staying at right now for the last day or so. And I was like, seriously, it's worse than this place? That says something. Because this place, so basically, what ended up happening there, so I ended up telling the other guy at the other place that was a couple times over from me, I was like, oh yeah, sorry, my sister technically was one that was saying this to the guy. She's like, oh yeah, sorry, we, Got a different place now. It was basically lied to the dude and was like, it was the original place, but it wasn't. It was this fucking place. And was like, yeah, sorry about wasting your time, whatever the case be here. And then started, going on the whole thing as it was. And so I'm here, thinking to myself, like, okay, there's going to be a staircase in this place. That's fine. I'll get up the staircase. Did not realize that it was going to be in the exact same shape it was in a video that was sent to me from when the dude bought it, like, I think it was like 6 or 8 months ago now. And yeah, it was at least that bad, if not a little bit worse than that even since then. So I think I don't know if my audio was working in yesterday's video that I did that little thing of like the apartment tour kind of things that it was there on Rumble. There are 2 light fixtures over in the living room here because I'm in this like weird like common dining room area, whatever it is here. But yeah, so there's like this there's like a bigger living room here off the side of it. It has 2 light fixtures up top of the wall. There is a light switch over right by the door over there. There is a light switch behind me here. And neither one of these fixtures had a light bulb in them. And I'm telling the dude that, was the property owner that I was paying rent to, that I literally paid, $1,600 rent to yesterday for first and last. I was like, yeah, dude, there's like no light bulbs in these. Like, what the hell? And then as it was, like I even told him, because I told him specifically last night into this morning, I was like, yeah, there's also no light bulb working in the bathroom. Because as of last night when I was here, I literally thank God for people like Tactile Muffin Top sending me stuff, dude, because I had to use a little keychain flashlight that he sent me that's rechargeable to even go to the bathroom last night at all. And then the worst thing was during that experience, I ended up having a situation where it was between last night and this morning. I had ended up going to the bath. I ended up, having to go take a dump, is what it was, last night. And I was like, okay, this is flushing a little bit odd, but it should be okay. And then I was like, yeah, it should be fine. Just don't worry about it, whatever. And then, yeah, I should have totally worried about it because I had to take another crap this morning. And I went to flush, and the whole fucking toilet started overflowing. I had no plunger here to do anything with it. I had no way of stopping it from, proceeding. And it was literally on the cusp of overflowing. And in the panic, I just like grabbed something because I yanked the tank off and what it was, and I panically grabbed something. Ended up overflowing it slightly faster than it would have overflowed otherwise. And yeah, it just became a complete and total shit show, literally. Sorry. Thank you, sir. What's going on with this right now? But yeah, it became a giant shit show. Ended up cleaning up literally human shit off the floor today. It's so bad, dude. Like, it was seriously a nightmare. And what sucks is this place was never turnkey ready. It would have taken at least, I would say, 2 months or so with a team of at least 5 to 6 guys to update the plumbing that needs updated, to update the shower facilities, which may work okay. I haven't gotten a chance to really take a shower today because, it's a whole fucking thing there. I tried to get in the shower today, and I literally couldn't even get over the lip of it because it's like this weird raised platform thing that's almost impossible to get in and out of with my bad knee and stuff. So yeah, it's just a giant fucking clusterfuck at this point. So I'm gonna basically do some stuff in the next couple days here to, essentially horse bath myself is what it'll be. Until hopefully I can move to a new place on the 1st. I've been But the last 4 to 5 hours now, I'm just like frantically searching all over Zillow for places to apply to. I had a couple people um, had gotten back to me, or not gotten back to me, but they opened the applications already when it was there. Hopefully they get back to me in the next couple hours. It'd be nice. I actually had a place to live here in a few days. But yeah, basically, um, I was completely lied to, 100%, by the guy who rented this place to me. I could, like I said, I could have easily had a much better place to go to yesterday, but I came here instead, thinking, okay, this is going to be okay. You know, it's got facilities and whatnot. And then no, it's not at all like that. It's fucking mess. So hang on, getting a call. Sorry about that. I had to have a conversation with someone. So yeah, I was telling him, yeah, this place has never turnkey ready. It was like a giant shit show basically, and yeah, can't even take a shower because the shower's all jacked up basically, to where if I were to get in the shower, I might not be able to get back out of the shower. That's another thing. The what is it? The tub, or not tub, the um, toilet area is like so fucking weirdly built in there. It's not even funny. So they had a different spot in that bathroom where you could have opened the door, and then had like the vanity like against this wall is what it is. That would basically share a wall with one of the bathroom or bedrooms. But instead, they put it against the wall, like this way, and then there's like this. It's literally a step up thing. It's like a raised platform kind of deal. That's where the fucking toilet is. And when I went to take a shit last night, I literally got stuck in that motherfucker, and I had to grab both sides of the fucking wall and stuff, and like sort of like Spider-Man crawl my ass out of there. Because if it wasn't for that, I would have had to literally like call the paramedics and have them take me out, is what it is here. So yeah, it sucks, dude. But yeah, it really pisses me off because then, well, the worst thing was like my sister was trying to blame, like I was telling Corey there, my sister was basically trying to blame me, and then claim it like falsely claiming like, oh, you just had it good all your life, people were taking care of you, and all this other shit. It's like that's not the fucking case at all. And the fact, the last couple years of our mother's life, 90% of the time I was taking care of her. Honestly, I was making sure that she, remembered to go to appointments and things like that because of her Parkinson's disease, what it was. Because she was like forgetting stuff. She had like I believe she had early onset Alzheimer's for a little bit there. And yeah, I was literally having to like keep tabs on her to make sure like she was good. Like there was one, I was like looking back at the end of her life there, man, like I was actually really freaked out because there was this one day that she had ended up getting up from her old chair that I now have at my other aunt's house. And she went out to the kitchen to get something. And then she turned around. I forget what I said. I said something to her and was waiting for her to like, say something back to me is what it was. And then she like looks at me and starts speaking like very weirdly. And I was like, what are you saying? Because it didn't sound like she was mumbling. It sounded like she was like literally just having like an impossible time to speak is what it was basically. And I'm like, are you okay, Mom? Like, what's wrong? And yeah, like she couldn't basically speak at all. And she was trying to tell me like the same thing like several times to no success. And eventually just like got frustrated and like smacked. She like pounded her fist against the counter in the kitchen and was like she was really angry about something because she like obviously couldn't get through to me communication wise. And then she ended up sitting down and I don't know if she nodded off a little bit or what it was, but like probably, I don't know, 20 minutes later or so, she is able to speak again then finally. And I was like, are you okay? You were really messed up a little bit ago. And she's like, was I? And I'm like, yes. So yeah, like it was a scary, scary situation, dude, like all the way around. And what sucks is she didn't even realize that she was like that messed up, that I had to literally like tell her that she was like messed up. And like I said, dude, it's just a scary, scary thought in general to have an elderly parent like that, like had issues like that at the end of her life. And you couldn't do anything about it basically. And this is like, I don't know if that's one of the things my sister didn't know about or does know about now or had known about a little bit. I'm not sure. I thought I mentioned something to her about it. I'm not sure. But yeah, it's like I said, it's just scary, dude. Like, and then And it's not like, and the thing is, it's not like I was going to live with my sister forever. Obviously, down there in Columbus, it's like, no, I need to stay here for like, you know, however long until I can find a place that's suitable for me, which I had found. And then, you know, because of this stupid shit, everything basically just like went to shit is what it was. And I'm not trying to particularly blame anybody, but I feel like I was lied to by the realtor, who's my technical landlord right now. But by the way, here's the thing too. I don't actually have a contract with this guy. As far as I'm aware, we're doing this shit as like a month-to-month like handshake deal, until something else became available for me is what it was then. But honestly, like I'm to the point right now, I'm just like, dude, like nah, like I'm not about to stay here and fucking, you know, die here is what it is. And the reason I say die here is because it is a death trap, dude. When the toilet overflowed this morning, it overflowed into the kitchen, which is right next to the bathroom. It almost hit an electrical outlet that the stove was plugged into at the time. Like it came like probably like this close to it, like several, like I would say maybe 6 inches to like a foot at most away from it. And I was finally able to throw down a fucking towel real quick to catch it. And yeah, had I not had that towel on hand, it probably would have fried. It would have A, blown up the circuit probably, would be my guess. Or B, it would have electrified that entire area. And at that time, that entire area had multiple wet towels on it that were all full of like basically pee, poop, whatever was in the toilet there that overflowed. So they were all waterlogged, and I was standing on one of them, so I could have easily been electrocuted this morning. And yeah, for anybody to sit there and, you know, try to talk shit or whatever the case be, or be like, oh, it's whatever, dude. Like, no, like that's the whole point. Like, this guy is not like, because I know, you know, I was just talking to you a couple minutes ago. I was like, oh yeah, the guy will fix for you. The case be, it's like, no, he won't actually, because this motherfucker was literally giving me shit about changing light bulbs in the fucking outlets that weren't even there, or the fact that I had no light at all in the toilet this morning. Like, he was giving me shit about that. About being like, oh, it's tenants' responsibility to pay for lights and light bulbs in the future. It's like, what the fuck, dude? Like, really? Like, you're gonna get into it with me for fucking light bulbs? When you rented me a place that's not even legally allowed to be rented by because I looked into it this morning, by the health code standards of the state of Ohio, this place is not suitable for human habitation. And it makes sense why in the last literally 27 hours, having slept here one night so far, I have both nasal issues and breathing problems right now. And I think it's because of all the dust and everything else that's in here, which would take, I'm guessing, a couple of weeks of the windows being open daily for it to all, you know, zip out basically. And I don't see that happening anytime soon. I don't see him doing any of that to fix anything. All I see is him basically dicking me around and, you know, trying to pull a fucking puppet string at this point, basically, and being like, dance, motherfucker, dance. So, yeah, that's why I got into it with my cousin this morning. And I'm like, he's your neighbor, dude. Like, figure this out. Like, tell him what's up. Because truthfully, like I said, if I can find a place by April 1st, like, I'll demand my money back at this point. Like, especially the last, which would be basically a security deposit. And if it comes to it, like, I'll take his ass to small claims court for that money, because there is zero reason for me to even be here in the first place. There should have never even been a fucking option for me to come out here. It should have been, nope, sorry, bro, can't get anything for you right now. Go ahead and go to the other place. And I think what it was is he basically, I don't know. Well, I don't think he thinks I'm stupid, right? I don't believe he thinks that. But what I do think is that this man is definitely screwing me around, 100% for sure. But also, at the same time, he acts as if I couldn't find a different place where I literally had something else lined up to go to before I said yes to his ass. And then now, as of this morning, I was trying to both message and text the guy who I was originally going to go live in his apartment that actually was turnkey ready. And I could have actually moved into yesterday instead of coming up here and moving to this place. And seeing if he would get back to me or whatever and be like, hey, could I still please rent this place come the 1st? And if that be the case, then yeah, I'm definitely going over there for sure. But yeah, as of like I said, about maybe 5-6 hours ago now, about 1 o'clock this afternoon. Actually, more like 6-7 hours ago. But yeah, as of about 5 o'clock this afternoon, or not 5 o'clock, 1 o'clock this afternoon, I've been basically on Zillow using my 30-day thing on there, finding every single place I could find that's in my price range, and basically just throwing it down and seeing if I can find anybody else. It's like, hey, cool, let's do this. Because right now, I just need something else. I need something else immediately. I need something that I can literally call my own for at least a year, and at the same time be, like I said, fit for human habitation. So, because this place is clearly not. And there are parts of it that are, like where I'm sitting right now, this technically is. Like this part of it technically is. If that had light over there, that technically would be as well. If we have working lights there, it would be fine. But even the bathroom's okay, or not bathroom. Even the first bedroom there is okay, except for the fact there's no fucking door on it. It's just where this opening to the kitchen is, should have a door on it, doesn't have one. Where the opening to the first bedroom there doesn't have a door on it either, and that's the one next to the fridge. And so, yeah, what's happening is I'm basically breathing in all the junk that's coming through these weird vents in this place. And I think that's what's causing both my upper respiratory issues like this right now, but also causing, like I said, I got maybe 3 hours of sleep last night or so, give or take. And I know for a fact that is what is causing my my health issues right now. So it's not good, man. It's not good at all. And it really does bother me a lot because there is zero reason for me to even be here right now. And I am seriously so fucking afraid right now. It ain't even funny, man. I'm just at my wit's end right now because, like I said, I could have been in a different place. I could have had a better place. Could have had a place that was actually fit for me to live in. But I came here on a dream of, okay, cool, I'll stay here for 60 days or whatever. Cool, this place will be fit for me to live in. And then came to find out, yeah, I'm just totally fucked, is what it is. So, it's just not cool, man. Not cool at all. But anyway. And then what was even more fucked up to me was when I talked to the dude last night about the previous issues at that point, which were basically the tile busting up on me and stuff like that, and being all fucked up or whatever. He actually had the audacity to claim that, oh, people would totally live here just for the school district here that's here. And I'm thinking to myself, sure they would, dude. And then after this morning, when I was talking to him and bullshitting back and forth and whatnot, he was bullshitting me back and forth when it was there. I got to the point where I was like, this dude's just a lying motherfucker. Like, yeah, people are gonna live here, as in they're gonna put a chair in here, they're gonna throw a bed down in the fucking bedroom there, and they're gonna throw like 3 shirts in a closet basically, and a pair of pants probably, and then claim that they're living here. And it would just be to get their kids in the school district is what it is here. Meanwhile, they're actually living in their real house in a different area. So, and then obviously, I do kind of want to show this one. Let me take a picture of this shit real quick so I can zoom in on this real fast. So, where my internet is currently plugged into, as well as this laptop is currently plugged into this area here. When I was going to plug the laptop in earlier, I figured out that this wall mount over here, you can see it there. Let me see if I can put that. Should pull that there. Yeah. You can see that wall mount there is all fucked up at the top. And most of the side too, for that matter. It's not, I think it's not screwed in properly is what it is. At least, if not, just needs to be changed out completely is what it is there. Like, yeah, it's basically pulling away is what it is every time you try to pull a plug out of it now. And that was not from me. That was from how the fuck it was 6-8 months ago when the dude bought it. It hasn't changed anything since then. Like, I could probably fry myself right now just yanking something out of that plug. Potentially. So, yeah, it's just, I swear to God, it's like one death trap thing after another in this fucking place. So, and what was sad was when I was talking to my cousin today, he even suggested I just go look into like extended stay hotels pretty much and see if I could stay in one of those for like a week or two while I find a different place or whatever the case be. And I'm like, dude, I'm not going to do that because I'm not going to sit there and waste, an entire month's rent in a week, basically. It's stupid. So the only good thing is there's several places that we're coming up on Zillow in the last couple days here or whatever that are in this, not this particular area right now, but like in the Canton, Akron, Cleveland, or not Cleveland, Canton, Akron, Alliance-ish area and stuff like that. So I'm just like literally fucking fingers crossed right now that one of these people will take a chance on me, that I can get in contact with somebody. One place that I looked at last year that was not super great, but it was okay. I think they lied about the square footage because it was like 1,100 square feet, and there was no way it was, dude. Like, it was, I'm not sure what the square footage of this place is, but it was basically, I'm trying to think now, I would say honestly, like the square footage of that place is probably between this living room, this thing, and maybe that kitchen was about the size of it. So I didn't have the back bedrooms and stuff, or the little side office and shit. So I would say it's more like about 700-800 square feet, which is fine. I could deal with that for a year. Hell, I could deal with their little weird step system down to the fucked up laundry they have in the weird basement area for a year. As long as I wasn't fucking here is what it is, dude. Because it was actually, honestly, that place was less than what I paid for this fucking place yesterday. So, and like I said, I'm just so irritated right now. I'm angry. I'm irritated. I think I just need to eat as it is right now because I have not really eaten since yesterday. I had breakfast yesterday morning, and then I had a couple pieces of cheese last night and a couple other, like a banana and some stuff. But yeah, I haven't really eaten today. So this turkey sandwich is probably the first thing I'm eating today. Is what it is. Well, sorry, I had another banana today. But yeah, it's a fucking nightmare, dude. Literally. Like, I couldn't have dreamed up a worst case scenario for me to be in right now at 40 years old. And the fact that I'm moving here at all, like, really does show something because, yeah, I'm not going to finish that statement. There's no reason to. I think you guys know where I was going with it. So, I mean, the only thing that's decent here is the water. Like, it's, well, I shouldn't say decent. It's okay. But even that, I'm not drinking enough because it's so hard to get water out of these fucking faucets. The tab in the kitchen is only running about maybe half capacity of what it should be. The one in the bathroom, the sink basin is so low or so like short there. I can't even get my bottle underneath it. And the worst thing is I didn't think about grabbing some cups or something. So I have no cups. I have nothing right now. I have the little bit of food I bought yesterday and the buns and some other stuff my sister gave me, which is what I'm eating these turkey sandwiches on right now. I have a couple paper plates. I don't believe I have any kind of silverware at all here. I have no way to even cut the tops off the strawberries that I got yesterday. I have no way to cook the potatoes I got yesterday because I have no pots to do anything with because the burners on the stove actually do work. So I have no way to cook the potatoes. I have no way to cook the cauliflower I got yesterday. Like, it's so fucked up, dude. And for what? And then literally when I'm talking to my sister and like trying to explain to her, like, no, I have to find a different place. Like now, like this place is shit, literally. And she's like telling me all these fucking stories about like, oh, I've never lived in a place that didn't have problems in the first 24 hours. And I'm like, are you not listening to me? I literally almost got electrocuted this morning from this fucking place. Like, she's apparently not hearing that. And so, yeah, I don't know, man. It's just so fucked up. And like I said, I think her thing was basically not having to deal with me anymore and fuck my safety, really what it is now. So, although to be fair, this is the same woman when we talked about 2 weeks ago about the whole man versus bear in the woods thing. She literally said she'd choose the bear. So she herself is choosing death is what it is in those situations. But yeah, it's such a fucking nightmare, dude. Such a nightmare when it doesn't need to be. And like I said, I think I'm more hurt than anything else is what it is. Because the messed up thing was, like, she and I had about a 5-minute conversation this past Thursday when we were deciding against the other place and going to this place instead, where I was like, hey, like, should I actually go for this place or should I just, wait, or should I just go for the other place and stuff? And she was like, oh, yeah, do whatever and, figure it out or whatever so we can get back to this guy real quick, whatever the case be. And it, like, put me in that, like, rush situation where if I had like, a 15-minute conversation, she had brought up the point of, like, hey, this place might not be turnkey ready. And, you watch that video of the shit, like, it might just be looking like exactly like that. And if she had said any of that, like, at that time, I would have been like, you know what, you're right. Like, let's, no, not even worry about this. Like, this dude has a chance to have me as a renter a while ago. Like, he fucked up at this point and should have just said no, like, for my own safety and everything else like that. Like, I'm going to go with this other place in town over then. But I didn't, because we didn't have that 15-minute conversation. We had a 5-minute conversation of, hurry the fuck up and choose, basically, is what she said to me. And when you're telling people that kind of stuff, it's very hard for them to, not be in a situation of, choosing wrongly, especially in my case, me being autistic and everything. And then again, she wants to give me shit for, oh, you've been babied all your life, basically. That's like, except I haven't been. And quite literally, I'm fucking autistic. Like, maybe have some fucking sympathy for my brain functionality maybe not being what it should be, So, yeah, like I'm so beyond aggravated right now at this whole thing. And I'm seriously like, I'm actually to a point right now of just seeing like calling up the dude who bought my mom's place, who's renovating it right now, seeing exactly what he have to do to renovate, and being like, hey, like, would it be possible, like, me helping with the renovations and living there simultaneously? Because I don't know if he'd done the bathroom yet or not, but like, as long as I had like a working shitter in it, that's all I need really. Like a working shitter, and then like whatever would be like the kitchen laundry stuff or whatever. Because that's where I'm at right now, honestly, with that. I don't think it's quite ready for any of that yet, unfortunately, but you never know. So, but yeah, I'm like, I don't know, dude. Like, I need something. I need a miracle to come through at this point in the next 24 hours or so, and talk to both of my aunts live up around here. Well, two of my aunts live up around here is what it is, and the one who actually lives about 15 minutes from this place I'm at right now was like, oh, sorry, honey, I'm not actually home right now. I'm down with your other aunt down here, taking care of her is what it was. Because I guess she's having health issues again with her heart and stuff. And I'm just like, fucking hell, man. Like, and yeah, it's just becoming like, I swear to God, like one thing after another, dude. Like, if it's not this thing, it's that thing. If it's not this thing, it's another thing. So, yeah, it's like super, like everything is just like I said, really shitty flux. Really is what it is. Like that's the only way to really describe it right now. I have no other way of describing it. Really is what it is. Like it's just a giant shit show all the fucking way around. And I think honestly, some of what's going on right now, I really wish that someone had mentioned to me like just how much of an intersection that I live at right here in this place for the last day. Because if they had, I would have never came here at all. I swear to fucking God, like every couple minutes, it's just a line of traffic here, dude. Like this is like such a main thoroughfare. It's just traffic, like 24/7 basically. As far as what I've experienced here this weekend. And it would be one thing if it was like not a whole ton, but it's a shitload, man. Like, and then you're sitting there and you're like, okay, like, can I actually get some rest now? Oh, nope, you can't, because now it's some jerk off on a fucking motorcycle being like vroom vroom in a fucking intersection and waking up a dead sleep. As it is, the only reason I even fell asleep today at all was because I literally passed out from exhaustion for a couple hours there before, obviously, what happened with the actually, no, sorry, that was after the whole shit show with the toilet overflowing, literally. So, but yeah, it's so bad, dude. Like it is literally like the worst case scenario I could ever think of right now. And honestly, this would almost make for a weird like dramedy, where it'd be like a comedy / drama, where it ends with like the guy just like going psychotic or whatever. If it wasn't my life, like it would actually be funny if this wasn't my life. But the fact it is my life right now. It just sucks, dude. And it's like it kind of goes back to the old like Hollywood films and stuff like that, like your Mallrats type of movies and stuff like that, where the guy's like, "When, Lord, when the hell do I get to see the goddamn sailboat?" You know, like shit like that. And yeah, it's like, when do I get to have, something good happen in my life? Like, when does my, pretty good karma pay off? Because as it was yesterday, there's a little market caddy corner to one of these fucking corners. I'm not even sure which direction I'm in at this point, honestly. I was down there and I was getting a couple things, and I thought I'd given the girl almost exact change, but I thought, okay, maybe I messed up and gave her like another 20 or something like that. And she's giving me a bunch of change back, whatever. Because yeah, it should have been like, I think it was 18 cents change or whatever, and she tried to give me $18 change, and I'm like, wait, what? I'm like, did I give her 50 something dollars? I was like, I think I did, but did I? And she's like, yeah, do you want a receipt? And I'm like, yes, please. And yeah, sure enough, like, when my brother and I got back out to his car, and we had driven off at that point, and I was looking at the receipt and stuff, I was like, oh shit, she did give me back too much change. And so yeah, I ended up having to go back there to get ice anyway, because my cousin took so long to do whatever at that point, to get over here to give us the keys and get me in here is what it was last night. That ended up going back up in there, and I was like, hey man, can I speak to a manager, to like the older guy that was in there? And I assumed he wasn't a manager, and he's like, yeah, I'm the manager. And I was like, hey, I just want to let you know, like, I was here like an hour ago, and your employee over here gave me back entirely too much change, and like showed him like handing the cash she had given me or whatever. And it was some old woman that he had just checked out, and she's like, bless your heart, son, for be doing the right thing, or whatever the case be. And he was like, yeah, thank you. I very much appreciate you doing the right thing there. And then I ended up asking him a couple minutes later of like, hey, do you guys sell ice or whatever? He's like, you know what, I'm gonna give you back at the house, man. So, like, good things do come to good people is what it is. I got a free bag of ice out of the whole situation. But at the same time, I'm thinking to myself, like, yeah, I got a bag of ice yesterday, but now I'm basically in a place that has tried to kill me twice in the past 24 hours. So, what's next? So I don't know. It's so fucked up. And yeah, it's hard to even know like which way is up anymore. And it's just sad. It's just sad what's become of everything. And I'm literally to a point right now where my nerves are just fucking shot, dude. Like, I'm totally at the end of my fucking rope at this point with everything. I honestly, if I had a vehicle, I would have packed up about half the shit I have with me right now. Or really most of the shit I have with me right now. Minus the bed that my cousin brought over yesterday. And just said, peace out, motherfuckers. And just whatever I could take with me, I would have taken with me. Got in the car. Just slept in the car last night, honestly. Or not last night, but tonight, obviously. Of course, that's no way to think, because like at the end of the day, you're giving up like an actual roof over your head versus potentially a motor vehicle. But at the same time, it's like, it puts you in that kind of a situation where you're like, would it just be better to be here in this thing? So I don't know. It's just a giant fucking clusterfuck, literally. And it just sucks, dude. It sucks so badly. It is no fun for anyone, especially not me. And I'm just like, again, like when the fuck do I get a break? When the fuck do I get my say? When do I get to see the light at the end of the fucking tunnel? And like, truthfully, my mom died 14 months ago, and I still have yet to be able to grieve her death properly because my fucking sister, at her wake, that was like, I think it was around January 25th, maybe 24, something like that. We had gone outside from the funeral home that we were having her wake at because I was just losing it left and right then, kind of like I am now, but worse. And I just needed some fresh air, basically. And my sister was like, "Oh, you need to start getting your stuff packed up pretty soon because we're gonna have to sell the place now." Like, I never had a fucking chance to breathe in 14 fucking months. It's so hard to deal with this shit, dude. And like, this is the kind of shit that just triggers my fucking autism to no end. And I'm like, what's the fucking point of even being here anymore? Like, that's the way I feel right now. Like, what's the fucking point of even being here right now? Like, I literally jumped on my computer this afternoon for a couple minutes. Went to go check out some news, see what's going on in the world and stuff like that. And jumped over to Breitbart, there is what it was. First two articles I saw was, oh, Iran won't come to the table. Trump potentially is, about to go to war with these guys now. And then the second thing was, oh, Trump and Putin are having a problem now. Now we're going to tariff Russia. And I'm like, God damn, dude, like, things are supposed to get better, not worse. And I feel like this is just everything right now. And like I said, it's just like, when the hell do I get to see the goddamn sailboat? Like, that's the truth of the matter. Like, when do I catch a fucking lucky break for once in my life and finally get, back on track? Just sucks, man. It really does. And the thing is, I even talked to the dude who rented me this place last night, and I think it was last night when I was mentioning something to him is what it was. But I was like, hey man, like, just to be clear, like if something does come up, like I would like to rent to own at some point. Like my end goal is to have a home, like I'd like to have my own home at some point, So I don't know. And then he was telling me a story last night about apparently there was a guy who was selling a house or had sold a house or a bunch of furniture from a house or something. And I don't know if this guy bought it or if he was selling it or what it was. But he's like, yeah, we're not sure if this guy's dead or not because we can't get a hold of him for the last 2 days or something like that. And I'm like, oh, that's nice. That's real nice, dude. That's real nice. That's really what I want to fucking hear is some other fucking guys, issues at that point. I'm going through my own shit here at your fucking place. So, I don't know. There's a bar down the block a bit here. Like it's, if I go out apartment door there out the front, and then like across the back is what it is there. It's like in one of the back parking lots, there's like this little, it's like a tavern saloon place or something like that, which I'm pretty sure is actually a saloon. And not that I really have the money, but like I'm honestly at the point of like I don't really drink too much either, but like I'm considering just like walking over there right now and just like having a drink or two. Like that's how bad things have gotten now. Is what it is. Is I'm literally going to the fucking bottle. Or thinking about it anyway. And that should never be an option. But at the same time, it's like, you know, again, like, what else do I have to live for at this point, you know? Like, what else do I have to fucking look forward to? Like, is it even worth it to be, you know, staying at this place, or is it better off if I just go elsewhere and do whatever? And honestly, that's what it feels like right now. Is like, fuck it, like I might as well just go someplace else. Get out of this fucking hellhole. And go from there, basically. But yeah, I don't know, man. Like it's just everything else anymore. And like I said, it really does piss me off because my sister, like I said, man, like she was the one housing me for months there. And she could have literally just said, hey, like, are you, like, if she had said, are you sure, like, one more time, be like, are you sure about this? And then, like, input it like, hey, you looked at the video, right? Like, that's probably what this place is going to look like when you get there, if you go there. Like, do you really want to take that place over this other place that we just got a lease for? And I would have looked her in the eye and been like, you know what? You're right. I should definitely go for the first place that we're getting this lease for. Because that's the thing. Like, this place that I'm living in right now, there was no lease signed. There was nothing signed. It was a handshake deal and some money being handed over. Not even to the realtor / landlord, to my cousin, who then gave it to him last night. Which, had he waited, like, I don't know, another day, I would have just been like, you know what, don't even give it to him, man. Like, give him like $100 and tell him I'll be out on April 1st. Which it would have been less than that even for the 3 days or so that I'd be here. That's what it is. But yeah, like none of us really knew, I think, and that was sort of the problem, is that we had no clue. We had no clue how bad it was really going to be. And now I know how bad it really is. Like, it just sucks. It sucks so bad. And like I said, the fucking sad part of it is, like, if this place was actually done decently right now, if it had been like if the shit here had been properly addressed, or at least for the most part properly addressed, you know, like maybe not like totally properly addressed, but like, okay, here, you know, like, yeah, there might be like an issue with something here or there, or whatever it is, but like, had he been like, hey, here's the deal, I'm gonna need another week to get this place, you know, done up or whatever, to make sure that we actually have, like, you know, that's actually fit to have any people renting it, you know. Like, if he had even given me that as like a thing, like, I'd be like, okay, you know, like, yeah, you know, I think I'm good, and then just be, you know, going with the other place that it was then. But he never gave me that option. It was just like, oh, hey, like, here's this place that I totally forgot I even fucking owned. Would you like to live in it for a couple months while we get the other shit sorted out? And honestly, what I should have said to him then was like, hey, you know what? You remember that guy that you had like, I don't know, like a month and a half ago or so? And he was asking you about, doing like a situation where I would be like living in his house as like a potential roommate. Like, is that guy still available? Because the fucked up part is like that dude probably would have been a better situation right now than the situation I'm in right now. Because at least there I could take a proper shower. At least there I could, take a shit and not have to worry about, hey, am I going to have to literally be cleaning it up off the floor later? Oh, god damn it. And then there's that shit. That's the fucking stove, or not stove. That is the fucking fridge acting up again. That's the shit it was doing all yesterday. For like the first hour and a half it was turned on. And then it stopped when we pulled a bunch of fucking shit out of it. Bunch of, what was it now? A whole bunch of dust, probably about, I don't know. I don't know how you actually like if you're like, it was like honestly, like it was like a giant, like, it was like a fucking like cotton candy style thing of dust. So whether it be like a pound of dust, 2 pounds, 3 pounds, whatever the fuck, I'm not even sure at this point. It was a fuck ton of dust though. And yeah, if we could have, like, if I could have, I would have shown like, that shit if I had been able to. I just didn't even think about doing it at that time. But yeah, that was a fucking of itself right there. And I think it's between that and the other crap from that fridge just being so messed up or whatever that is causing a lot of my health issues right now. Because like I said, I was fine before I came here. I was at my sister's place for 4 months, literally, down in Columbus, of all places. Down in the like, you walk outside and you probably smell shit from the fucking sewer system, Columbus. But I stayed in her. That being said, I stayed in her apartment quite a bit, off and on. But like, it was still habitable. Like, I would blow my nose and stuff down there because it was a little dry and stuff. But yeah, it wasn't anything like, like I'm having right now, where it's like, literally, I got fucking just like the sniffles, basically. Thought there was like a bug or something on that windowsill, but it was just chip paint, basically. That's another thing. Like, this whole fucking apartment needs a new coat of paint for sure. Like, that's number one. Number two, obviously, is the plumbing. And this is what the fucked up part is, right? Like I said, when I was getting into this guy about, like, needing like lights and stuff here, and he was like, oh, transfer for light bulbs in the future. And I'm like, dude, seriously? And yeah, like, it was just such a fucking, like, what you call it at that point. Like, I literally, my cousin, I spent like, I think it was like $27 or $29 yesterday to get a broom and a dustpan and a fan for this place because it's so hot in here, which that's oscillating right now behind me. And yeah, it's just like, again, what's the fucking point anymore, dude? But yeah, I'm definitely to a point right now, just like, enough is a fucking enough, honestly. And the fucked up thing is, like, if we go back full circle, the only reason I haven't basically told this dude off at this point is because at one point in history, I believed he could have been a financial backer for a political campaign for me in the future. I don't know if that's to be the case anymore. Like, with the shit that I've had to put up with him for the past like 24 hours right now, where he's just like bitching about light bulbs that weren't even installed in this fucking place. as a tenant expense in the future. Like, I'm just like, dude, come on. So, yeah. I mean, thankfully, at least he sent a guy out today to at least address the toilet situation. Where I thought it was going to be a snaking situation. Thank God it wasn't. That being said, the dude did bring a snake and left it here for me if I needed to use it, which I don't know how to use a fucking snake to unclog a toilet, by the way. I have no idea at 40 years old because, again, that was not a problem I ever had in other fucking places I've lived in my life where I had to just have a fucking snake on hand in case the toilet fucking clogged and started, overflowing and shit like that. But yeah, he was able to use it like a weird little accordion plunger thing and get it mostly down and stuff like that. So and that seems to be functioning at least to where it can flush again. But yeah, like I'm fearful. Like what's sad is I haven't really eaten today because I'm fearful of having to take another shit and having it overflow me again. And that obviously, thankfully, now I would have the plunger to yank the thing and like sort of start like plunging real quick. If I can get it to suck down and get like enough suction there for it to like suck down into the hole and stuff like that. But yeah, like it's just sad. It's just very degrading, is what it is. Obviously, I've washed my feet a couple of times as best I could, just to make sure I'm not like, like covered in like fecal matter base at this point. I tried to do what I could to where the shit had flipped over on the tiles and stuff like that to deal with that. But the problem with that is even I don't have cleaning supplies to do that stuff with. So it's basically like, take something like some mixed body wash and like soap or something or like body wash / shampoo or whatever. Well, not shampoo, but it'll be like body wash probably. With like, I don't know, fucking some water or something and use like a pail of some kind that I can make it out of something here. Or get a pail or something like that and then just, do it that way or get a mop and I think that's what I'm going to do is get a mop and stuff or even my cousin maybe has a mop they can just bring over tomorrow or something. But yeah, I guess his wife's giving him shit now about like, why are you hanging out with your cousin so much and not your sons and me? It's like, I don't know, maybe because the cousin is fucking in a shit show right now where he is living in a death trap that they claim is a rentable apartment. And like he even said, he's like, dude, if I had, like he even told me this afternoon when I was talking to him, he's like, yeah, if I had the room, I'd give you a room in the house or something, but I don't want the room because obviously his son still lives there is what it is. And at this point, I should have just been like, you know what, dude, like, do you have a fucking like just empty space I could sleep in? Because at this point, like, it would be better than being here. Like, that's the sad part of it all. Like, it would physically be better for me to be in a random ass fucking area of my cousin's home, even if it's me throwing a fucking mattress down on the floor of a basement, than to be in this fucking place. And then, like I said, at the same time, I would just be looking for another place to live is what it is then. Thankfully, there is the one place I looked into today. They're supposed to have an open house. I think it's tomorrow on the last day of the month there. And then they're going to be getting through the applications or whatever for the place, for the two different apartments they have for rent right now, which I think they're both technically considered studios, but like they're actually not bad. They're sort of small, obviously because they're a studio apartment, but at the same time, like I'm like, you know what? Anything's better than this fucking place right now. Like my thinking with the whole thing is like, okay, it's a studio apartment. Does it have a working shower that I can literally go shower in the day I get in there, take a proper shower, wash my body, and be able to, get something to eat or whatever after the fact, then be able to actually cook and not have to worry about like outlets exploding on me potentially. So Yeah, I don't know, man. Like, the only thing that's interesting about this place is in the back bedroom there is a door that is kind of like, let's see if I can show the, um, see if I can change the camera angle here for a sec. If you can look in this cabinet right here, this is like a two-sided cabinet. That side is like storage or whatever with like some extra shit there, so it'd be like a pantry almost. This side is like a weird closet, but it has like it's like the 1900 style like cabinetry or whatever on it with like the locks and stuff because you have to like pop the thing like sideways or something. What it is there, and it's probably about maybe like the whole size of that cabinet, and then like part of the other side or whatever there. And there's another one of those in the back bedroom there that I'm sleeping in right now for the last day or so. And if you open that up, it's like a giant closet. And what's interesting is it's big enough closet that you could actually probably put a mattress in there and like sleep in there. The thing is, I'm not sure if you can get back out of there if you actually close the door because I'm not sure if it has like a way to like unlock from the inside, basically. So, and then I was talking to my brother today, and he was like, "Yeah, supposedly the woman that owned the business downstairs are like, there was a girl that used to live there not long ago." And I'm like, "How long is not long ago? A month, 2 months, 6 months, a year, 2 years, 3 years, 5 years?" Yeah, because the thing is, like, people judge time differently, and like looking around at this place, there is no fucking chance in hell that anybody has lived in this place in at least several years. Like I would say 5 years anyway. Like just the way it looks, just the way that everything is so dilapidated here from, like I showed you guys earlier, that literal fucking outlet right there that like you can literally pull a fucking plug out of and the whole thing just starts shaking loose basically, to these windows. Like the windows themselves aren't bad, but like the exterior part of the window like needs a new paint job all across the board right now. And there is 6, 7 windows. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's 2 more in that back room over there, so that's 7. There's an 8th one right there in the kitchen. There's 2 more in that first bedroom, and there's 2 more in the other bedroom. So that's 12, and then there's one in the bathroom. So there's 13. There's 13 fucking windows in this place. And the frames themselves, every single one of them needs an updated paint job because there's paint chipping, there's paint flaking. Yeah, legally, I'm not even sure if I couldn't just call code enforcement right now and like get them involved because this dude's not, he put me in this place, not had it up to spec or whatever the case be. I don't want to do that to him, obviously, because, he's still a good dude and like otherwise. But yeah, like it's, I don't know. Like I said, even with these tiles here that are in the kitchen, because it kind of looks like there's hardware underneath them is what it is. Even if they brought even if it was like one guy that came out for like an hour and he just brought like a scraper piece or something like that and just like scraped up the fucking tiles and then just like threw a couple mats down over the hardwood or like a couple rugs or something like that, like basically like welcome mats is what I'm thinking right now. Like it would be a better situation than what that fucked up tile is right now in there. That's just cracking off and breaking off and everything else like that. That's obviously been there since like probably the 1950s is my guess. Maybe the 70s. Yeah, actually maybe the 70s. But yeah, this place was supposedly built in like 1900 is what it was. And you can tell it is, dude, because like, there's some weird ass setup in here. Like there's, as far as I can tell, like I've looked everywhere in this place and I still have yet to find any ability for temperature control in this apartment, whether that be the heat, whether that be the cold, anything. And I actually got cold today at one point. Like I was like shivering. And I'm like, why am I so cold? I don't know why. And I don't know if it's because I had one of the windows open in the other room or what it was. It was just getting breezy outside because of the rain and stuff. But yeah, it was just like I don't want to get sick is what it is. And I feel like the longer I stay here, I'm just going to get sicker and sicker. And like I said, like within, it was, I'm trying to think how long it took. So I got in here about maybe 4:30 yesterday. I want to say give or take, around 4:30, someplace in there. When I walked through the door the first time, yeah, I think it was around 4. I think it was closer to 4:30 when I walked through the door the first time. And within, let's see, 4:30, so 5, 6, 30, 9:30, 10:30, 11:30, maybe around 12 last night. So, like within like 8, not even 8 hours, I was already feeling like soreness in my chest, like I was inhaling like something bad is what it was. So, and then yeah, then I realized like when I woke up this morning, it was like, why is my nose all clogged up and stuff? So, yeah, and I think it's just bad air in this fucking place. And my sister this morning was like, "Oh, why don't you just crack some windows open?" I'm like, "Because it's raining." She's like, "It should be fine. Just check to make sure it's not raining through them or whatever." And they just air the place out. And it's like, that's what I did, obviously. This was after the whole shit show of the fucking toilet overflow this morning. Just to get the stink out of the apartment is what it was there. It did dissipate quite a bit when I finally opened some windows and got some air through for a few hours, as it was. But yeah, like it's just such a fucking nightmare, dude. And it's a nightmare it doesn't need to be. And it's just sad. It's just sad that this had to happen to me, is what it is. And like, I'm not trying to say I'm a dope because I'm not. You know, I'm not an idiot. But I feel like I just need to stop like having so much trust in certain people, is what it is. And I feel like I just need to get the fuck out of here and get my money back, is what it is, really. So, and like I said, I was doing that this afternoon. Maybe, but the way it's going is going to be April 1st, which is like 2 days from now if I can find another place. And then I was telling my cousin, I said, hey, depending on where I get in, if I need like washer dryer hookups or whatever the case be, like which is washer dryer hookups for washer dryer and stuff like that, like it could even be a situation where like dude keeps most of that, rent, and it just becomes washer dryer for me at that point from his business place that he has. That is a little bit of everything is what it is there. So, and actually, I think technically, because I moved here the 30th, or no, it would be the 29th, because 27th, 29th. So 2 months would actually be, 7, 14, 21, 28, 35, 42, 49, 56, 60. So it would be the last couple of days of May, actually. Maybe May 31st would be the final day or something. But that's the guesstimation of me being able to stay here for 60 days and be alive when I leave. I say that jokingly because, again, like, God forbid, another overflow happens and it hits a friggin' breaker and I'm, standing in water without realizing it, or, go to unplug a plug from an outlet. Yeah, I gotta laugh a little bit because I don't want to cry. But no, seriously though, it's ridiculous. And the thing is, like right now, I could technically break this lease at any time because there's not even a lease to have. It was literally, would you like to rent this place for me for like basically 60 days while I get the other shit sorted out? Yep. Here's some money. No lease, no tenant landlord agreement, nothing. which technically, even without that in the state of Ohio, I still have rights, though, what it is. And I have the right to have a place that is actually fit for human habitation, which this is not. Especially out this morning. So even if when he sent the dude over today to like fix the lights and the toilet and stuff, if he had just sent him over and been like, hey, I'm going to have this dude pick up like a bucket and some cleaning products for you. Like if he just ate that out of the cost or whatever and was like, I'm just going to make sure that this is, at least, there's not like, fecal particles all over the fucking floor again. Like if he had just said that, or even just like offered to like, buy me a fucking mop and some cleaning supplies and shit like that, like I'd be like, cool, thank you. Because I would have done it myself for that matter. Nobody else had to do that for me. Like if he just give me the shit to do it, like it would have been better than fucking just leaving me here with this fucking mess is what it is. And trying to figure it out myself now. So, and that could also be what's causing some of my health issues now is because, just the random shit particles in the air still. But I don't know, man. It's just a bad deal all the way around. And like I said, it pisses me the fuck off, honestly. Because it's a situation that never needed to be. It could have just as easily been a situation where he's like, hey, here's the deal. Don't have anything for you. Won't have anything for you for months, minimum. Do you still want to basically try to do short-term stuff someplace that I may or may not have? Or do you just want to go on your own now at this point? Because if he had actually said that question to me, I would have been like, you know what, dude, no. I'm sorry. You've had your chance. You had, different parts of 2 different years to get this shit done. I know it wasn't all on you. Some of it was on the people that were selling the place to you. But, and I think the thing that pisses me off the most about this dude, I'm not going to name names because obviously, something does happen here. But the place that he was purchasing that was catty corner from my cousin and himself, obviously. If you went down my cousin's street this way, and then there was a pizza place on the other side of the road, if you went down that street, at one point, while this was all happening, this dude had a rent-to-own place there that was roughly about the same price he was going to charge me in rent. And I think I even asked him, I'm like, hey, is this a possibility here for me? And I think it was like a day or two later, he, sold it off to somebody else's rent-to-own then. And it's like, bro, like you literally could have done that for me because I've been saying this whole time I want to own a fucking property. I want to become a homeowner. And the fact that you just basically overlooked that entirely was like, nope, sorry, gone. Like, what the fuck, dude? So, and even when my aunts basically said, yeah, this guy's probably a house flipper is what it is, more or less, and it fucking sounded like that, honestly. I sort of get why people have gripes with this dude now is what it is. Like I'm not saying he's on my enemies list at this point, but he's slowly getting there is what it is. With some of the shit he's pulled against me in the last, like I said, 4-ish months now is what it is. So but so technically, in the state of Ohio, it is, when I was looking up today, I believe it was something where if you do not have a written lease, as long as you tell them what's up, they cannot come after you. And it's, I think it would be less than 30 days is what it is. So, but like I said, I'm to the point of, hey, if I can find another place, even if I have to eat the money that I fucking paid him at this point, like eat the cost of staying here for 2-3 days, and it's 2 months rent at that point basically. I'd be willing to eat that at this point just to get the fuck out of here is what it is. Because I still have enough money to where I can do a first and last on another place, and then have money after that to have at least another month's rent in the bank, and then of course inheritance if I need it is what it is there. I can tap into that. So, but I felt like I said I've already filled out a shitload of Zillow applications today, probably like at least 20 of them anyway in this like tri-city areas and stuff like that, basically, or quad city areas maybe it'll be then. Between like Canton, Akron, Alliance, Canton, Akron, Alliance, etc. There, like small towns and stuff like that too. And yeah, it's just whoever gets back to me first at this point, and is like, hey, we've done your background check, you're good to go. We see that you have enough money to cover that 3 times that we want is what it is there. We're willing to rent you the place, April 1st. Cool. I'm done. I'm gone from this fucking hellhole. And I will never set foot in this fucking death trap ever again. Ironically enough, I was talking to my cousin yesterday, without knowing that this place was a fucking complete nightmare. I said something to him. I'm like, I know this dude. I know that guy bought this place for X amount of money last year. Like, if you and I came together and made him an offer or something like that, just buy him out of this and just made it into something ourselves, whatever the case be. But yeah, knowing what I know now, like, yeah, there's no fucking way, no way in hell. Because, like I said, just putting the initial investment in to buy him out, basically, and own the building is what it'll be then. I'd have nothing left to repair what needs to be repaired right now to even live in this fucking place. Which the sad part is, like, if the shit was up to code, like it needs to be, like if all this tile was gone and replaced with something else, if the appliances were yanked and replaced with something else, because it needs for sure a new fridge, because it's either the compressor or the fans or something was going in that fridge. So between those two things, it also needs a new stove. I think it needs new wiring in certain places. It obviously needs new plumbing. It needs a new toilet in there. The tub may or may not be okay to use. It would just be, again, just like a very high lip to get over is what it is. And with my bad knee, it's hard for me to even lift a leg over to get in there, basically, to even possibly try to take a shower. But yeah, like if a lot of this stuff was fixed here, if there was new coats of paint and everything, if we actually figured out what the hell is wrong with these 2 fucking lights up here, like if it's a switch to nowhere that exists, which in this case it'd be somebody taking out a switch basically, or if they just needed it rewired entirely or something. And then I would say at least one of the things that carpet in one of these rooms would need yanked. I think it's the second bedroom there. That's by the bathroom. All that shit needs yanked out. Strip the wallpaper off. Either put new wallpaper up and paint, or just paint at that point. So, like I said, between like everything I just mentioned. And then obviously the plumbing had to be taken care of too, because the kitchen sink either needs replaced or it needs like a new faucet, maybe is what it is there. Because it's producing about half the pressure of water it should be producing out of it. So it's a situation now where, like if all that stuff was repaired, it would be probably livable at that point. But that you're talking about minimum several $1,000s to do all that. Probably, I would say closer to 10, honestly, if I estimated it. And even then, you would be eating all that cost just to, make the place an apartment is what it is for yourself. If that'd be the case then. But yeah, I don't know. It's just, with everything, it's just the whole thing. The thing is, if it is I believe there is in rental codes, if it is a broken appliance or whatever, they do have to replace that then. And like I said, that fridge is like pretty much dying, is what it is. That stove is, yeah, not great either. So, but yeah, just this is probably the worst case scenario I can think of right now. And it just sucks that, that happened to me, obviously. But again, this is why you live and learn. And basically, if you have a better offer on the table already, take a better offer, is what it is. So, which is what I should have done Thursday. I should have been like, you know what? No, not going to deal with this crap. You've been jerking me around for several months now, dude. Like, that's great that you have this place, but, good luck to you with it. If you can find somebody else to take it, find somebody else to take it, because it's not going to be me. And if I had thought that up and I had done that and I had said that, had my piece, said my piece, whatever the case be there, and just straight up told the guy, like, no, it's not going to be a deal here, man, I'd be in a much better place right now. And yeah, the other place I would have gone to had like a weird quiet hours from like 10 a.m. to, I don't know exactly what time it was in the morning. But at the same time, like it wouldn't have been, anything near like what I'm living in right now is what it is, to where I can't even, like I said, before his repairman guy came today and put a fucking new light bulb in the bathroom, I had to have a fucking flashlight that I was using the entire night. Like whenever the darkness fell, like I had to figure out where the fucking flashlight was that I had with me, or take my phone in there and use that as a fucking flashlight just to go to the bathroom. That's fucking ridiculous. Like, all that shit should have been done with way before I got in here. If I was going to come here at all, or anybody for that matter. And like I said, legally speaking, like, I don't think that dude could have legally rented this place to anyone. I think the only reason he rented it to me was because he was like, oh, hey, I actually own this building. Like, oh, would you like to just basically stay here and just give me money for it? And yeah, that's the only reason I'm fucking here right now is what it is. Which, the sad, fucked up part at the end of the day is, I could have been in a different place paying like almost $100 less a month. So, the thing I hate about StreamYard is they won't let you actually look up the stuff the way you need to look it up. So you're basically put in a weird situation where you have to go over to YouTube and stuff like that to grab any links and shit. So let me check this shit out about LawFacts. Tenant landlord rights obligations. What is a rental agreement? Agreement lease. Binding written or contract between parties to establish modified terms, conditions. Okay. Lease will end 3 days from next rent. Rent is paid on first of every month. Notice is given 15th. What are my tenant rights? You're a tenant. Occupier possess rental property of another under lease. Right during your tenants to bargain with landlord for lease terms. Right to privacy. Breaching leases. Escrow. Yeah, see, well, this is the thing right now. Like, so, and this is some stuff I learned this morning with the whole like tenant responsibility and landlord responsibility, and it's basically keeping premises safe and sanitary. And it's kind of hard to do that when dude hasn't even told me if or where a trash can is that I can throw my shit out in. Like, I need to throw away trash. Like, I have no idea if there's a trash can on the fucking premises I can go throw a trash bag into. So, like, it's kind of hard for me to keep the place sanitary when I have no clue where any trash pickup would even be at. So, but yeah, it's just crazy. This is what it is. Yeah, here we go. Comply with, like, this is the landlord side of it. It says comply with the standards of all building, housing, health, and safety codes that significantly affect health and safety, which this guy's not doing so far. Like I said, he himself could have come in here. He could have had my cousin, who is basically working for Freeform at this point, come in here a couple days early. One of his repair people come in here a couple days early, figure out and make sure the fridge is working and stuff like that. So, yeah. It's just the whole thing right there. Okay, it's what is a rental agreement? Let's see here, landlord, tenant. Okay. Let's see, rental agreement called lease. Binding written oral contract between parties, establish modified terms, conditions, rules for parties use and occupy of a residential premises. Properly written lease will eliminate most problems commonly arise between a landlord and tenant, benefiting both parties. Lease may create a tenancy from week to week. Yeah, week to week. Okay. Month to month, year to year, or any amount party suggests. So the thing with that is, though, I feel like this was an oral month to month is what we're talking about right now for until I would, have the other places what it is or whatever. But I don't know, because if it was week to week, yeah, I could get out of here. I'm trying to think what day I moved in now. Yesterday. The 5th would be Saturday. So I don't know. I would honestly just say, okay, cool, I'm moving out the 5th. Give me back 3/4 of the money is what it is. So, but yeah, I don't know, man. I really wish my cousin had brought over like a screwdriver or something yesterday because this stupid fucking office chair that he got me, because apparently he tossed away the better one that I had for like 15 years now is what it is. Actually, I think it's more like, actually, no, it's probably more like 25 years. So I think it was about 15 when my brother got it. You got my little office chair that has these fucked up sides on it that are so tight they're just like shoving into my thighs and shit right now, and it just hurts like hell is what it is. And this is literally the only fucking chair I have in this place right now to sit on. Unless I sit on the floor and like put my back against the wall. I'm not doing that obviously because my knees are too fucked up to keep getting back up on the floor is what it is there. So it's bad enough my bed's on the floor right now. God, what a fucking shit show. Okay. So yeah, well, I think he's knowing that already a little bit right now, like from everything going on. And I'm just not gonna re-up or whatever. So I mean, like I said, at this point, fuck it. If I'm out $1,600, that's what it takes to basically learn a life lesson. Unfortunately, but not that I want to be out that money, but at the same time, I'm just like, rather have it be that than fucking, I'm at another 800 on top of that or whatever. So yeah, I don't know, man. Just sucks. So it's like the one time I don't have time travel powers to go back in time like a week. I just tell my past self, be like, hey, don't be dumb. Don't take the lease from the second guy. Go to the first place. So while we're here, I'm going to go ahead and just check my email and see if anybody has gotten back to me from any of the Zillow applications I filled out today. If they have, which hopefully one or two has. Can at least start looking into stuff. Okay, let's see. So I got 2 there. Got a third one the person opened. Got a 4th one the person opened. Okay. None of them have actually gotten back to me yet, though. So that's the only thing I don't like about the Zillow applications. They're like, oh yeah, they'll tell you if they like check the message basically for it, but they won't actually tell you if like, hey, they actually contacted you until they contact you what it is. So, which in this case, it's like, yeah, I think the real issue too is I'm not going to know for another day or two if I'm getting my full disability check now, and so I can't actually update that to be, hey, I'm actually getting this much money now instead of the 2/3 initially what it was there. So it's just stuck with the 2/3 for right now is what it is, and then people will see that and not even bother to look down when it's like, oh yeah, by the way, I also have this much money that I can give you, that I can tap into per month or whatever, and that would cover more than 3 times the rent at that point that you're asking for. So it's kind of sucks, dude. But I'm gonna get going though because I'm just tired and I don't feel well, and I think I'll eat the rest of these sandwiches tomorrow, what it is, or even later tonight for a midnight snack or something. Because just don't, like I said, I think I'm just so fucking tired. Yeah, it's just exhausting. So I think Han's gonna do a chat in like an hour or so, probably. Almost likely jump on that as long as my legs don't feel all fucked up in this chair. So I really wish I had a fucking. I don't think any place is open right now for me to go run to buy a screwdriver or something. But I really wish I had a fucking screwdriver right now. In my shit, but I don't think I do. I don't think I have any multi. Well, do I have a multi-tool with me or not? I don't think I do. No, that would have been in my fishing bag, which is not with me. Shit. Yeah, if I had a damn multi-tool with me, it would be. I could just literally get up right now, take this chair, turn it sideways, and just unscrew some of these fucking screws in here. Yank off one of these stupid fucking side leg thing, or stupid fucking side handle things here. Even if I left the other one on to be whatever, because then I could have, you know, like I could at least like have my body like shift enough out of the chair or whatever to where it wouldn't be like eating into my fucking thighs and stuff. Because there'd be one side gone, then it would be the other side would still maybe be there. Maybe I could take off both sides or whatever the case be, just have like a actual chair is gonna be then. But because I don't have that shit, it's just like hurts like hell to just sit here is what it is. Which is why I think I was staying in my bed so long today. It's easier just to lay there and fucking just do whatever then. So, but anyway, enough of my problems. Just figured I'd give you guys an update to the day 2 of living in a death trap apartment. And hopefully April 1st will be my savior, which is that somebody in the next 24 hours here will be like, hey, we're cool with renting to you. You know, what time do I move in April 1st? And I'd be like, okay, cool. I will, and that, like, I think what I'm going to do tomorrow is I'll probably contact my uncle, see if he can come over here with this vehicle, and then we can just load up some stuff there, whatever the case be. Potentially on the 1st, if I get a place right there, and then just go to the bank, get the money. I don't know if it's going to be cash in hand situation or not at this point, or if it would just be something to, you know, like have like how they want to do it. If it would be like direct deposit or what it would be here or something, but set something up at that point to where I'd just be like, hey, like, okay, here you go. Like, here's the money coming into your account and stuff like that. And then I just sign the lease agreement Tuesday at some point. And then just, you know, like I said, just move some of my shit over there as it would be then. And then nothing else, then go, you know, hit up like a thrift shop or something like that and just get like a love seat or something to like sleep in for the night until I can come back here the next day and get the rest of my shit as it would be then, including my mattress. So, but I think technically if I moved in on the 1st to someplace else, though, the way I'm talking to my cousin right now, he would be able to get off work and help me move then as it would be then or something. So, which thank God for that. And, you know, it's the least he could do at this point since he was the one that suggested this stupid fucking place in the first place. So, but yeah, it's whatever, man. Like I said, I don't think there's any physical chance I could even stay here for 60 days with it being just like the thing. I think my biggest issue right now is not being able to have a bathtub low enough to where I could physically take a shower in, or anything for that matter, really is what it is. And because of that, like, there's no chance in hell I couldn't just take a shower for 2 months, dude, is what it is. Like, I'm not a fucking some Alaskan bush person or something like that that's just not going to shower for fucking 2 months or whatever because it's like winter time. Especially this hot ass fucking spring summer that we're having right now. So, yeah, like it's just, I said, worst case scenario right now, what it is. But yeah, my plan right now, like I said, is going to be, I'm going to figure some stuff out. Hopefully, one of these people that open up one of these applications from Zillow, there's what it is, will get back to me, or hopefully maybe somebody tomorrow will open up one. Since a lot of people are not in office Sundays or, you know, Monday to Friday or whatever it is usually. Hopefully they'll just contact me in the morning and be like, hey, would you like to rent from us then? And I'd be like, yes, I would. Can I move on Tuesday? And they'd be like, sure you can. First of the month, get your rent check in hand, whatever it is there. Or, like I said, direct deposit to this people here, whatever it's going to be then, or whatever. And yeah, it'd be perfect at that point. Because then I would just put enough in there to have like the first and last for whatever at that point then. And then, yeah, just get things going with it is. So, well, I think technically actually because my Yeah, it would either be tomorrow at some point or it would be Tuesday at some point. Is when my next disability check should hit my accounts. So I would more than have enough in there at that point then. So, but nothing else. So I had to like take cash I have in hand right now and like, throw it in there to be that in between or whatever. Be fine too. I think is what it is. So, but yeah, it's just a matter of, like I said. So, quick synopsis is I gave up a much better apartment in a different town for a place that the guy who was supposed to be renting a house to me had as a so-called rental. And not turnkey ready, not rentable at all. Toilet flooded on me last night / this morning. Or yeah, I think it was this morning. It was like 6 a.m. maybe when it happened. So like 15 hours ago now, give or take. Completely overflowed. Didn't even realize that some of the shit that was in there had flown out until after the fact, when I was able to see in the light of day because it didn't have fucking. There was no light in the bathroom until this afternoon when he literally sent a dude over to put light bulbs in and fix the plumbing issue, obviously, that was causing this clog up. And so yeah, so basically I found out like 9 a.m. this morning when there was like light in the bathroom, and I was like chunks of shit I had to pick up off the fucking floor with paper towels and toss them into a trash bag, literally. What was that sound? It was weird. Yeah, I'm hearing all kinds of weird ass noises too in the last day or so here since I've been here. I don't know if it's people trying to break into this place or if it's fucking. I'm gonna go check something because that just sounded like somebody should walk up the staircase, which shouldn't be possible. Maybe it was the guy next door I was hearing then. Oh, there goes the fucking stupid fridge again. Yeah. That's what woke me up out of a dead sleep last night too, by the way, was it's like I said, I don't think it's a fan that's going in it. I'm not sure which one. Because like every so often it'll just be like for like a couple seconds. And it'll be fine again for hours. And then a couple minutes later, it'll just be like for like 30 seconds. So yeah. It's the whole thing. That's kind of exactly what this seems like now, unfortunately. And it's the worst kind of way. But yeah, it's not good either way. And like I said, it just even if I have to eat the money that I handed to him at this point, like I will, just because, or if I, like I said, could figure something out where it's, he would just be like cool enough to be like, you know what, like I'm sorry to do that to you, like I totally understand what was happening there. And if he was that cool, like, which he might be, honestly, we'd be okay then, I think is what it is. But the problem right now is that he's shown himself at this point to sort of not really give a fuck. And then as it is tomorrow, last night when I talked to him, he basically like third party called a different guy that lives in one of these other buildings around here and was discussing all the cameras and stuff. Well, that was another thing too, by the way. So there was like this is what's so fucking retarded about this whole thing. Like you would think if you're gonna have cameras on the building, you'd have them in such a way where you'd be able to like control them from downstairs. No, I walk in here yesterday and there's this whole ass extension cord across the fucking floor, and it's set up to like a camera to the outside of the building. And then there's that room on the corner over there. There was another extension cord in there that's up to another camera. And then as it was, the guy who set up my cable yesterday had to basically take the extension cord and use both sides of it. So the one camera ain't even working at this point, as far as I'm aware. Not my fault either, because, why the fuck do you have extension cords in this place when you should have enough outlets closer to be able to actually put shit into? So, yeah. So I ended up buying a whole extension cord thing yesterday. It's like a 5, 6, 7 prong outlet thing is what it is, or something like that. On it, it's like one of the little white ones or whatever that has like all the different sides and top and bottom and all that stuff too, is what it is. I think actually there's just top and sides. But it's like 7, 8 different plugs or whatever to it there. So yeah, that's what I plan on like doing with this one. I just plan on like yanking that cord out of the wall there is what it is, and just putting that plug in when I get it here for my cousin hopefully tomorrow. And then plugging obviously their camera thing back in. Hopefully nothing's happened the last day. I don't think it's happened since I got here anyway. Because if it did, there was a reason why I walked in the bedroom there. It was to get the old two-way equalizer. So, in case somebody was trying to break in here, they would have got a little nasty surprise. Yeah, I think it might have been something where the guy, there's a building there across the street. I think it's an auto body shop. It also looks like it could be a house too, so I'm not sure if it's one or both. But yeah, it's definitely fucked up. Nothing in this place is, my friend. Like I said earlier, come back to synopsis of the day. Literally, like almost every single tile in the kitchen right now is breaking apart. I stepped on something last night with my socks on that I'm pretty sure cut through my sock and stabbed me in the fucking toe. Probably gave me some sepsis or some shit now that I don't even realize I have. What else happened? Yeah, so basically, started with the fridge. Then that happened with my toe, which I told him about last night, the landlord guy. And then, like I said, this morning, it was the shitter overflowing. And then earlier tonight, it was me finding out this plug down here is so loose, it's basically like the whole plate thing for it is like about to pull off. And yeah, I honestly can't even believe I fucking hope not, but maybe. I mean, at this point, it'd probably be good to just get one, honestly. But yeah, I can't believe that either my cousin suggested this place or that the dude agreed to it, like knowing that this place was not rentable. Like it physically was not a rentable unit. It's just like the downstairs part, like their basement place there. And my cousin told me this afternoon, he's like, oh yeah, it's even worse than this part of it is, whatever. And I'm like, well then why the fuck did either one of you suggest that this was even a place to rent for X amount of time for me to be a go-between at this point now? Like, you knew I had a better place. Like, I kept my cousin up to date on the shit. I was like, dude, I got a better place lined up already than what it is. And he's like, oh, you sure you don't just want to have this beach? Like literally the only fucking reason that I did not take the other place was on the assumption that in a couple of months, the probate shit was finally worked out with this other house, and I was going to be a long-term renter in that fucking house. And by long-term renter, I mean I was promised anywhere from 2 to 3 years of back-to-back years of rent that I could go there and rent it for long-term. And that's the only reason I've gone this whole time and not taken another place, basically. But then come to find out secondhand, or I guess third-hand, well, no, because I would be the third-hand, right? Yeah, because it'd be the first, would be the person that's telling it. Yeah, second was my cousin then, and he'd be telling me as the third-hand person is what it is then. So yeah, I found out secondhand that like potentially the place might have to be torn down if the dude even build his fucking dream home on that land and shit. Even though there's like a whole allotment next to the place. Because I guess it's like stupid ass fucking city codes and state codes and all kinds of other stupid shit there is what it is. So yeah, like after all this shit, like if it's not even gonna be, you know, a possibility and this guy's just dragging his fucking feet and dragging me along at this point, like, nah, fuck that, dude. Like, fuck you. I'm leaving here as soon as I fucking can. Give me my fucking money back that I gave you yesterday on the 29th. Like, if you want to prorate for the days I've been here, fucking cool, dude. 3 days is $80 fucking dollars. Give me the rest of it back. Give me back the other 15, 20 then, motherfucker. So, but yeah, it's bullshit, dude. I think it's because we technically agreed that was like, well, again, it was an oral agreement that it was like, oh, it's an as-is place or whatever. And it's like, well, maybe, I don't know, fix it up so it's a better fucking place before I go into it. Because again, he could have even done that. He could have been like, hey, I'm going to need another week. I'll have like 2-3 guys out here to, you know, fix this joint up. Oh, okay. That might have been there's some people that just walked in that. Holy shit. We just have precognition come through again. I had a dream about this about 2.5 months ago when I was at my sister's place, I think. Of me looking out the window and seeing people walk through a door. And yeah, it was people just walking through a door over there across the thing. And I'm not sure what happened after that, if it was good or bad. So probably going to go ahead and make sure that my piece is available to me if somebody does try to kick this door behind me, because that might be how this fucking ends. So could you imagine that too, by the way? Like, I live in my mom's place for most of my, well, all my childhood, and then, you know, most of my adult life there is what it is. Go down to Columbus for a couple of years, live down there, come back to my mom's place, live there for, you know, what's left of my adult life then at that point, up until my 39th. And then, you know, obviously mom passes a few days later. And now at 40, I'm just in like this random ass, like ramshackle rental, only to have like some dude break in and I have to literally pull a gun and stand my ground in self-defense. Like, that would be my fucking luck, dude. Do I literally have to like shoot somebody on stream or something like that? And then have to call the cops and be like, some dude just broke into my apartment that I just started renting yesterday, and I had to shoot them in self-defense. That would be a hell of a fucking thing to text your landlord too, by the way. Just had to kill somebody that was trying to break in, dude. So, again, knowing my luck, that's what would happen, honestly. But, you know. On a more pleasant note, though, hopefully things will work out. I'm going to text my cousin real quick and see if he has any updates of what the hell's going on right now. Yeah, because he was trying to text, or he was trying to call up the landlord today, and the guy wasn't picking up. So, I had that. It was called my family ancestral home. So, until it got sold from underneath me because I couldn't, afford the mortgage on it. Which, that's the one thing that probably pisses me off the most is just these fucking scumbag big banksters out there. Because, like, truthfully, if someone dies, and it's their name on the mortgage, I should not transfer their next of kin. It shouldn't be their kids. It shouldn't be their siblings, whatever the case be. It should literally, the debt itself should die with them. But instead, we live in this fucked up society where you have the biggest scumbag piece of shit criminals in power for decades who write the laws to benefit themselves, make sure that they don't have to pay money in taxation, make sure that their, rich elitist buddies don't pay a dime in taxation. And yet, meanwhile, it's we little guys who get nickel and dime to death. You literally have $1 get taxed at least, I think it's like, I forget if it's like 7 or 17. I think it's like at least 7. I'm going to say 17 times, maybe, but maybe just 17 times. I'm not sure. But yeah, it's crazy. Like, you have the same dollar. Like, I could literally hand someone $1 right now, be like, oh, I owe you that $1. And between them and I, it would get taxed twice. And then if they use it to go buy something, it gets taxed again. And then the business that, took that $1 in, then has to pay out money in taxation too, and so forth and so on into infinity, basically, is what it is there. Like, it's just fucking nuts, dude. It's just so crazy. And it's just stupid to put up with this fucking nonsense is what it is, dude. So, yeah, it's also funny on that one too, especially when you look at these other countries that claim to have free healthcare. They also don't admit that they have tribunals that are basically death panels that look into people and are like, oh, is this person worthy of healthcare? Nope, next. Or it's like Canada in the last couple of years now, or that idiot Trudeau, where they were basically telling people, there was some, I remember hearing a story a couple years ago. It was some woman up in Canada. She, I believe she was part of the Canadian military at one point. And she, fought for her country there in Canada. Ended up getting wounded in the war somehow is what it was, or one of the wars that it was there. Went back to Canada as a wounded veteran is what it is there. Had serious mobility issues because her spine was all messed up, whatever, from where she was wounded at. She went to the Canadian version of basically the VA and was asking them, be like, hey, I'm this wounded vet. I need a stair lift for my house. And instead of just giving her either the stair lift or the money to get the stair lift, they're like, have you considered euthanasia? And I'm just like, how the fuck does someone needing a stair lift because they fought for your fucking nation turn into, have you thought about killing yourself? Like, the fuck, Canada? Seriously? And you wonder why we're tariffing your asses at this point? Yeah, it's just so fucking nuts, dude. Like, it really, really is. So, that's another thing. All the, up there in Canada and stuff like that, it's all because of the free healthcare and shit. You have, like, all these waits for doctors and stuff like that. But it's even, like, it's also kind of the same here in America in some cases because it's all these people trying to make 15-minute cities is what it is there. That was one conversation my sister and I had before I left Columbus there was how, where she was living out there in one of the suburbs, she was mentioning about how they were basically trying to turn Columbus into a giant 15-minute city right now is what it is. And like all the suburbs too for that matter. And it was starting to work, I guess, because you had like this mass importation of people from who the fuck knows where countries. And it was all these like people under like Biden and Kamala and stuff like that were like, you know, the third world of society at that point, kind of terrorists and stuff that were causing like this outbreak of like all the fucking what do you call it now? Yeah, it was like all the rental prices to go sky high. So, and then it doesn't help here in Ohio when you have all these fucking scumlords coming from out of state. And like some dude who lives in Maryland is able to create some bullshit LLC here in Ohio and have some dude that lives in Ohio actually manage the motherfucking thing. And then they'll take what is like kind of like a property similar to what I'm in right now is what it is. Don't do a thing to fix it up or anything like that. And then if it was like a $400 or $500 property or whatever the case be before that per month for rent, now they're like, oh, $1,000. And people actually rent the shit out is what it is. It's just fucking insane, dude, what it is. So, but yeah, it's a fucking crazy, dude, what it ends up being, honestly. And it's just sad. It really is just sad. I'm going to see if Honda sent me a link for any chat tonight, maybe. Nope, not yet. He's technically offline. Let's see if he's even set up anything for tonight or not. If he hasn't, I may just say fuck it and just try to go to bed for a while because I really don't feel great right now. It's been a day, man. It really has. Really, it's just been a week at this point. And truthfully, it's been, you know, trying to think how many months that will be now. About 60 weeks or so of just hell without my mother around anymore. You know, like at least when she like, and that's the thing, right? Like if she hadn't died, like she might be, you know, maybe wheelchair bound, maybe not, maybe, you know, health issues for the rest of her life for however long she had left at that point. But at least she'd still be with us. You know, even if I had to become like a primary caregiver to her or somebody else had to become a primary caregiver to her or something like that, you know, like at least she'd still be with us. But the fact that like I literally talked to her in person on my 39th birthday and 8 days later she was gone. Like there ain't no way, bro. That there's no way. There is no physically possible way that she passed that quickly without some kind of outside interference being part of that. You know, whether it be some angel of death at the facility she was at, whether it be something else for that matter, I don't know. But Yeah, I think the thing that pisses me off the most, honestly, is that we never did an autopsy, and I wanted to do one so badly. I was like, no, we need to do an autopsy. We need to do something. We need to prove that, like this was not natural causes, because it wasn't. And my sister was like, nope, can't do that. I don't know. Maybe I just need to finish setting up my Uber account today and just call an Uber in the morning and just have them take me to mom's graveyard for a few minutes or something. I don't know, man. Like I said, it's just, I think honestly, because like even how bad this place is for the past 24 hours I've been here, well, just over 24 hours. If I actually had some of my things here that, I don't know, like I could grab a fucking cup and go fill it with water and put that cup in the fridge to get cold and then have a fucking cold glass of water instead of just having to rely on my bottle for all the supplements I need at this point, like things might be better off right now. Maybe I wouldn't be so fucking testy right now. Even if I could just take a glass of water, put the fucking shit in the water, and then take some ice cubes out of the fucking ice cube trays I got yesterday and throw some fucking ice cubes in that glass of water and drink it that way, like, I might be better off right now. But yeah, I don't know. It just fucking sucks, dude. It really does. It's just so fucking frustrating. And then on top of all that, then talked to my aunts today. My aunt that lives around here is down with my other aunt. I think I don't know if I mentioned that earlier in the stream or not. It's been a couple hours now. Yeah, my aunt that lives about 15, 20 minutes from here is what it is. She is down with my other aunt in a different county right now because she has to take her to appointments this week because I guess the second aunt, who's had health issues for the last couple of years now because of the old, is having heart issues again now. Whether it be her pacemaker is messing up again, I'm not sure, or if it's just, I think she said maybe it's heart arrhythmias and stuff like that now or something. But like, yeah, so that's the thing again. And I'm just sitting here thinking to myself, like, the last thing our family needs is to lose her at this point when we already lost our uncle. Because if we lose her, we lose the farm. And I mean that seriously because that somebody was walking, it turns out, with their American flag that they have outside of the business there. It was like furling weirdly. So, but anyway, yeah. So basically, fuck was I saying then? I don't even know. Oh yeah. So basically, if she were to pass right now, my sister is the executor of her estate, and her estate basically says sell the property. And my cousin was interested in buying that property, obviously, but he doesn't have that kind of money. Neither do I. Neither does anybody else in our family. Even if it was like 20 of us getting together, we might not have the money at that point because the amount of acreage, the amount of lakes and ponds that are on that property, the amount of the fact that there's a nice house on it that was built by her and my uncle. In fact, there's an old cabin that's been on the property for decades since I was a little kid. I think it was there before even that. Has been maintained pretty well in those 70 something years now is what it is. Has been that property basically. Or no, actually, no, I think about it. No, was it? No, I'm sorry. They were the ones who built that cabin on that property originally. So it was probably in the 1970s. So yeah, about the last 55 years or so, give or take, I think is what it was. So yeah, between all that stuff on that property, you're talking about probably $1 million to $2 million that could be worth is what it is. Granted, I have no idea where that money's going. Like, I assume it would be split between a bunch of us relatives, but I have no idea at that point. Like, knowing my aunt, she'd probably go to a fucking charity or some shit. So, but yeah, I would like. I'm honestly like, I want to go down to the farm there at least a couple more times, do some fishing. Maybe that's honestly like the long run. Maybe that's what I need to do. Honestly, just like get the fuck out of here. Like, just talk to my aunt, be like, hey, is it cool if I just stay at the cabin for like a week or so, and just like fucking decompress from everything at this point, turn off my brain, get rid of technology completely for a week. You know, get my um, circadian rhythms going again and stuff like that, and getting that shit synced up with, you know, like the natural flow of the earth, basically. And then just do some fishing, you know, like just fish down there for a few days in a row or something, catch some bass, catch some crappies, catch some bluegill, whatever the case be. Have a good time. In the meantime, you know, find a different place to live, basically. So, I don't know. It's just, like I said, it's so much inundation with everything. It's hard to say, you know, which way is up. So, yeah, I don't know, man. It just sucks either way. What really pisses me off, too, by the way, about this hellhole I'm living right now is there are 13 windows in this place. 4, 5, 6. 6 of them do not have any blinds on them. The other 7 do. And the only reason I'm not sleeping in the second bedroom over there, because the first one here doesn't have a fucking door on it that I've been sleeping in for the past, you know, 24 hours here. The only reason I'm not in that side is because the other bedroom has no blinds in it. And so it would basically be sleep through the night, hopefully, without having like ambient light come in and hit you in the face while you're trying to sleep. And maybe you don't hear the fucking road noise as much. Or sleep in the place that has some blinds on it. Don't have car headlights like slap you in the face every 5 minutes. And, you know, maybe pass out eventually for a couple hours. Alternatively, I don't know that there's any outlets in the closet thing that's in that first bedroom. But thinking on it, I should probably go. Well, actually, I don't know if there's a light in there at all for that matter. I don't think there is, but I should go check that out actually, see if there's a light in there. I don't think there is, though. Let me go check real quick, actually. I'm going to take my phone with me and just put the like, flashlight mode on it here on. Let's see. No, it's not that. Is there flashlight mode? Let me get to my flashlight mode. Or it just be the light, actually. Light mode. Maybe flashlight on. Light. Phone. Quick setting, menu, tap, flashlight. Oh, okay. Okay, so that'd be. Where we got this? Settings. I'm not seeing any quick settings in this. I don't know. I'll just use the little flashlight in the bedroom, whatever the case. I think it's still in there right now. Pretty sure I was in there. Yeah, everything else, I'll just have the light on there and then look in the thing and see if I can find a light in the room itself or not. Like the what you call it, light, ambient light there. So give me a minute and I'll go check real quick. Oh man, been sitting too long because my leg's hurting now. Grab some water while I'm out there and put these sandwiches away for the time being. Apparently that's a full tab light. Cruising out this window. Which makes sense given this place was built so long ago. I would expect there to be. Too big. ones are. Fortunately. Back there. That sucks. Oh, that one in. Nice. Well, I guess one cube and try to nothing. Still got something to hold right now. A little bit of ice in my drink there. Fucking hell. Yeah, that much real quick though. That cube is almost fully melted already. It's crazy. Fucking insanity is what it is. But anyway. Yeah, so that's the one thing, right? Like the little marketplace I went to yesterday. I think I told that story earlier. Girl gave me almost $18, too much change. I had to go back in there and be like, "Hey, manager guy, your cashier here is not the brightest." So, I didn't say that. What I said was, I was like, "Yeah, it's probably that Common Core math they're teaching these kids these days." Making a joke. But yeah, he was super thankful, and I said something to him. I was like, "Oh, do you guys sell ice?" And he's like, "Yeah, let me get you a bag for free for your honesty." So, yeah, I like to put out good karma like that. Is what it is. Obviously, if I had realized, like, because again, my mom was so focused on getting in here as it was that time, I'd probably just been like, "Wait a minute, are you sure you maybe check the receipt there and make sure you give me the correct change there, hun?" So, but again, my mind just wasn't thinking what it was. So, semantics at this point, honestly. I'm gonna see if Honda set up chat there or not yet. Oh, he did. Okay. Well, then on that note, I think I'm going to head over to his chat right now because he should be starting in maybe 5, 10 minutes, 20 minutes, whatever it is then. Not sure. Let me check. Tell me he has to set up before here. Ugh, man. 10:20. Okay, so we got about 20 minutes then. That's fine. I'm going to go jump over there then just because. Set up my headphones real quick. Like I said, though, it really pisses me off, though. Because like if this, like that's the thing, right? If this place was better, or even if like the basement apartment was like, finished up and like ready to rent out and stuff, like that might be a better option too for that matter. Even though it'd be way cheaper as well for that matter. Like, yeah, the view here is nice, but like, hey, in that basement, it's kind of like a cave. Is it kind of like a dampened sound from the outside noise of the vehicles? Oh, it is cool. I'll take that place instead. Like, but yeah, the whole point is though, it's like if either one of these places were like rentable for real, like it'd be great. And then like legitimately, it's like right across the street is a pizza place. Next to it is a gas station. Right down the street from that, like I think it's either a fifth of a mile or a quarter of a mile walk. There is that like bulk food store place that I went to. It's a produce bulk food store place. And then not directly across the street from it, but like if you go like this directly across the street, it's like right here, the next building over, is a dollar store. I think it was Dollar General, if I'm not mistaken. And then when you're walking back up that side of the road, there's a cigar shop right there. There's a hair salon right there. Like it's a fucking great area. It really is. The problem is this place is shit. like I said, if dude had like 2 months ago realized that the other thing wasn't going to be an option or whatever, and knew he had this place at that time, he could have hired some people, whether it be a plumber, whether it be, an electrician, general handyman, whatever the case be, like a handful of guys to just come in here, yank up the shitty tile from the kitchen there, figure out if the outlets are working or figure out if all the outlets are working, which I haven't checked every single one of them yet, but as far as I'm aware, like most of them do, except not all of them are 3-prong plugs. There's both the bedrooms are 2-prong plugs still. I wonder what that sound was I just heard. And then I just looked outside, and yeah, there's a shitload of rain falling off the lamp out there. And that American flag is totally getting waterlogged right now. So yeah, it just started pouring down like crazy, apparently. I think all those windows are closed. So maybe this one, let me check that. I'm going to go over and check that one over there real quick, because it looks like it might be like semi-open still. It has like a weird thing on the base of it. Oh, there's the fridge again. And it stopped. And that goes again. Oh, another one. A little bit of there. God damn, dude. Just work, fridge. So fucking annoying. But yeah, it's just like, yeah, but like seriously, like this, if it wasn't for like this place just not being great, which it could be if it was like properly repaired over like 2-3 months, maybe is what it is there, it would be perfect. This would be like a perfect rental at that point. You got your nice picture window thing there in the front, like a little windowsill thing you can sit on there and just watch traffic. Literally, dude was telling me last night, he's like, yeah, you can just sit in front of that window and watch the accidents and record them. And I'm like, what? And he's like, yeah, apparently the intersection has like quite a lot of fender benders on it from time to time. And I was like, oh, so set up a camera, make some money then maybe or something. Some YouTube crash stuff or something like that. But problem isn't that you have to like an actual camera set up, and I don't have that right now is what it is. So, but no, it's just funny though that he mentioned that. But yeah, as it was, like, and going back to that whole thing. So yeah, he put me on like this weird call last night where he like called up this other guy that was one of the adjacent buildings there. And he's like, oh, you guys should become friends. And why don't you hang out when this guy is off on Monday or whatever the case being? It's like, dude, I don't need friends. Like, what the fuck? like, why are you trying? Why the fuck are you trying to set me up with some random dude I don't fucking know and don't want to know? Is what it is. Like, you trying to take me on a date there, buddy? Like, what the fuck? So, but yeah, it was just weird. But then he was mentioning to both of us about the security cameras and stuff like that, and that dude said something about, I guess, the woman that owns that building was putting up a bunch of cameras too to like specifically look at like certain spots in like the alleyways or something, because I guess there has been a lot of like either like theft or break-ins around here or something in the last X amount of months or something then. And it was funny to me because he's like, this dude's like, oh, if you guys see something or spot somebody like, kind of like prowling or whatever the case be, he's like, just call me or the cops. Like, it was basically like an either or. And I'm like, or I don't know, if they're trying to kick my fucking door in, maybe I'll just use my Second Amendment rights is what it is that I have with me right now. So, Yeah, like it was just fucking nonsense what it was, dude. So yeah, he just all kinds of weird shit basically. So I don't know. It's all fucking nuts though. Like I said, it just fucking aggravates the living shit out of me right now, knowing that this place could have been great and just isn't. And I was sort of led to believe that this place was great, and it isn't. I'm not sure, honestly. Like, I know. I'm trying to think now. I think it's where because, like I said, if you literally, like, if I walk out of this room, I'm walking into the kitchen, and kitchen's maybe 8-10 steps across, something like that. So I'm not sure what the actual diameter of it is there. It's pretty small, though. And then if you walk through the next doorway is where the first bedroom is. And then if you walk into that bedroom and then go like that and walk a few feet, there's the door. It actually has a door on it to the second bedroom. And then at some place in that bedroom, you can see the dude's building. So it's like one of the adjacent buildings over like that way, I think is where it's at. So, and I'm not saying we couldn't be friends, but, you know, like, I don't know. I just don't, like, to me, it's one of those things where it's like, okay, like this naturally happens, you know, like, let's say I'm on a stream with somebody, right? And they're like, oh, hey, here's this guy or whatever. And then you just naturally become like, you know, friends or acquaintances with that person and I start doing streams with them. And I think you guys know where I'm going with this one. Fuck you, Guns and Barbecue. So, but no, seriously, I still find fault with John after almost 3 years now for the shit he pulled against me. Fucking scumbag. Anyway, but no, for real though. What was I saying then? But no, like seriously though, like you can be on like a stream or doing something, whatever the case be, and like you'll have like someone who will, you know, like naturally like introduce you to someone else, whether it be like whether it be you consider that person a friend or an acquaintance or whatever the case be, and they introduce you to another person they know, and then that person becomes more of a friend to you than the original person was, or whatever the case be. And yeah, it could be something like that, honestly. But the thing is, like, you know, to me, it's just kind of weird because it's just like, dude, I'm a 40-year-old man. I don't like people all that much. You know, like I just like general society is retarded, basically, is what I'll say on that one. A lot of people in it anyway are, especially when they choose fucking bears over dudes in the woods, just randomly popping up out of nowhere. Because I'm pretty sure it'd be just as awkward for the guy as it would be for, you know, the chick that's randomly walking in the woods or whatever the case be, you know. But yeah, it's like a whole situation there. And so it basically becomes a whole thing there where it's just like, you know, you have these people that will say or do dumb shit like that or whatever. And it's like, I don't really feel like I need to associate with some of these people. That's what it is, you know? Versus if you're actually going to be, you know, in contact with whoever there, or if like I was like, let's say it like this, right? Like I was going to go out to like, I don't know, one of the local taverns around here, like a saloon around here, whatever it is, bar, whatever you're going to call it at that point. And, you know, I stopped there to like, just kind of check it out. You know, not that I'm a big drinker and anything like that, but just like, you know, it sounds like it could be an interesting place. Let me go check it out, see what the ambiance is and stuff like that of the place. And then it turns out like, oh, hey, there's a guy here that like, you know, starts chatting you up or whatever. And, you know, maybe he starts playing a pool with you or something like that. That's what it is. Or like you ask the room if somebody wants to play a game of pool or something like that. And this guy just steps up and is like, hey, I'll play with you or whatever. And then naturally you get to talking and it turns out, oh yeah, he lives, you know, just right across the street from you or whatever it is there. And or right across the parking lot, I guess it'd be from you there. And then you just become friends that way or whatever the case be. But the fact that like this dude who is my technical landlord right now felt the need to waste the time to introduce me to some random guy whose name I don't even fucking remember in this conversation. I think it's Scott something, but I'm not even sure at that one. It might be like Steve or some shit. Or maybe Vince even for that matter. I don't even know, man. It's like that. Well, speaking of which, I got to talk about that real quick before I leave. So there was a running gag. I say that because of the multiple name thing. When I lived in Columbus with my brother and sister at a house, there was this neighbor guy named Jeff or Ron or Dave. I'm not even sure which it was at this point. And I think his name was actually Mike, but I'm not 100% though. But yeah, like I had gone outside to take out the trash for us one day or something. And the dude was at the fence line, or whatever the case be. He's like, hey, and like introduced himself to me or whatever the case be. But again, because I'm more one of these people because of the autism and stuff. If I see you and then I see you again in quick succession and stuff like that, like twice or three times after that or whatever it is there, I tend to recognize faces more than I do remembering names and stuff. Unless like I really care, and then I'll actually remember your name is what it is, or if you have like a name that's kind of weird or whatever, I'll probably remember that's what it is then. But like truth be told, I'm more inclined to recognize faces. Like the whole thing with celebrities and stuff that I've had since I was a child, basically, where I could see a celebrity, you know, movie star, whatever it was there, TV star, and I could just start rattling off like random stuff I remember them being in. Like, oh, they played in this thing and that thing and another thing is what it is. And God forbid if I could tell you their name, but I remembered like, oh, hey, there was that old man. He played in this and this, this and this. But like, again, fucked if I know what his name was. And it's kind of like that for me with people is what it is. And so, yeah, this like, it was really weird because the landlord dude had this weird like try conversation with the two of us last night and was like talking to us about each other and stuff like that. It was like, oh yeah, if you guys want to hang out over the case be or something these days, like both your numbers are in this text chain now, like go ahead and use them. And then the dude texted me after the fact and I'm just like, fuck, what was that guy's name? So like I put it in as like maybe Vincent because how I labeled his contact info on my phone or something. So if I do hang out with the guy, I'm gonna have to ask him like, what is your name again? I like, sorry, I'm sorry, but like I completely forgot, bro. Like, again, mine's been frazzled dazzled all week is what it is here. So, but yeah, like I think it's Vince or Vincent, but I'm not 100% sure on that one. Like I said, it could be like Charlie or something for all the fuck I know. But yeah, it's just sad. But yeah, it's just like I don't even know, man. It's just a fucking shit show, unfortunately, right now. And like I said, I'm not worried about making new friends. Here's what it is. I'm more worried about, you know, finding a different place to get the fuck out of here on April 1st or 2nd or whatever the hell it's going to be then. And hope to God that somebody can come through in the next day to day and a half or so. I guess that would be next day or so. And just be like, yeah, we see that you provide enough income verification for us. You know, here's the lease we can set up for you. When do you want to move in April 1st? Or what day, you know, this week would you like to move in or something like that, it would be. And yeah, as soon as they would tell me that, I'd be like, okay, how much do I owe you guys in rent? How do I get this to you? I can be over there, you know, at this time on this day, basically, to sign the lease. And I would be out of here. I would take as much stuff with me in the first trip as possible. And if we had to come back for a second set of stuff, okay, cool. And then I'm gone. And then I'm talking to the dude who rented this place to me since Saturday and being like, dude, like, I think you and I both know that that place was not inhabitable for anybody. I feel like you kind of tried to scumbag me a little bit here. I'm not okay with it. I'm not okay with you, you know, taking the money you took from me. I'm cool with you probating for the couple of days I was there, or prorating the rent for the couple of days I was there, or whatever. Would you please hand me back this much money, or at least put that money towards something that I'm going to buy from you in the future is what it is then. And I think he'd be cool with it at that point, honestly. Because the thing is, like I said, depending on where I end up at, like I might still need a washer and dryer, depending if it's a hookup place and stuff like that. And if he would just have one for me to go and buy from him or whatever the case be, then, and, you know, it might not be that, you know, $1,500 or whatever the case be, like $1,000 or something, though. And nothing else. Like, then if he had like a love seat or something on top of that, that was like $300-400 or whatever the case be, I'd be like, cool, we're square. Like, give me the fucking sofa and give me the fucking washer dryer is what it is then. So, but yeah, I feel like he claimed he had a place when he really didn't have a place that was truly inhabitable is what it is. So, but anyway, that's about it for today's stream. I got to get going because I got to jump on Honda's chat is what it is then before it starts here. So let me jump in here. And I'm going to go ahead and get going then. So, yeah, I'll let you guys know what the hell happens. Here's what it is. I'm not planning on doing any other streams until I can get potentially into a new place, hopefully this week. And I'll give you the real apartment tour at that point, a new place that I'd be living for at least a year at that point then. So, yeah, I kind of honestly wish, like, what I really wish is that the fuckers at our government love to drag their goddamn feet would have just qualified my shit the proper like they should have last year is what it is. And if they had done that last summer or even last spring, really is what it is. By the time summer came around, I was looking for places. I could have easily gotten into any place I needed to get into. Then is what it is. Because legally in the state of Ohio, and I think most states for that matter, you can't discriminate against people with disabilities is what it is. Because it's ADA violations at that point. We can sue the fuck out of you for discrimination is what it is then. Because if you're trying to claim like, oh, we need like 3 or 4 times the amount of rent that the place is being rented out for, wherever it is there. If you try to fuck somebody with disabilities that is getting permanent disabilities, what it is there, and they would be getting the full amount of whatever that is, which would be obviously more than the rent check would be per month, but they don't make anywhere like 2, 3, 4 times as much as it is there. You can't legally fuck them like that unless you want to get your ass sued in court is what it is. And that's how it needs to be, honestly, because it's some bullshit. That people try to do stuff like that, try to scumbag, you know, the elderly, the infirm, the people like me that have a fucking blown out knee and stuff like that, and a blown out back from, you know, falls and trips and shit over the years. So, but yeah, that's what it is, man. So, like I said, hopefully I'll be able to do some things tomorrow and get things squared away and then get to a new place come Tuesday. And then I'm hoping by this Friday I can finally get the fucking chiropractor for the first time in like 5 months, basically. Because my back is so fucked up right now. Like, I need something so badly right now. I should honestly go down to the fucking gas station there tomorrow and just be like, do you guys by chance sell this? And then just buy some if they do, because I definitely need some kind of pain reliever at this point. I don't know what it would be, but it needs to be something that can be like muscle relaxants, basically is what it is, or the equivalent thereof is what it is. Anyway, on that note, it's been fun. It's been real. See you guys on the next one. Peace out. Stay safe. Don't get scumbag like I did. Know your rights. If you think you have a better place as a renter, take the better place because you're just asking for trouble if you go with the secondary options and stuff. If you can see a place in a video that kind of looked shitty 6 months ago, it's probably going to look shitty today, is what it is. If the person doesn't realize they own the fucking building until like days before that. So, anyway. And that's what the situation is here. So, it's unfortunate that it happened, but it happened. And like I said, just don't let yourself be a victim like that, like I was. And that's about all that needs to be said about it. Later, y'all.